Selling it all to live the RV life? That is what McCartys on the Move did. Let's hear their story. Welcome to RV Out West. I'm your host, Brooks. My Family of Four's base camp is located in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, and our RV adventures radiate out from there. Please grab a mug of coffee and join us as we discuss RVing around the American West. From sweet camping spots, gear and equipment, to tips and tricks, we've got you covered. We are RV Out West. Jason and Renee had the American dream, a home with a yard for their family to play in, and they sold it all and traded in their lifestyle to now live the RV life. They have found true happiness in this simpler and more minimalistic way of living. Today on the show, they share with us their why. What was the draw to RV life for them, and just how they make it all work. Plus, they share some favorite RV spots to camp in the Pacific Northwest, along with some great tips for both travel days and how to save space when living small. Jason and Renee, thank you so much for coming on RV Out West.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. We're really excited to be here.
Yeah, thanks. So before we kind of dig into some of the RVing and things Pacific Northwest, can you guys share a little bit of your backstory?
Well, we're Jason and Renee from McCartys on the Move. We have now been living in our RV for 3 years, which is crazy. It seems like it just flew by, but at the same time, it seems like it's been forever. It's been part of our life for so long. It's just the norm now. So yeah, we are stationary in the Pacific Northwest, kind of helping family with the property and the house and helping kind of care for things here while we're stationary here. We just travel as much as we can. We've been together. I joke. I always say we're longer than we have. It feels like it's been 25 years, but I think it's only been 15.
Nice.
Yeah, we have 3 boys. One of them has graduated and moved out, which is always a bittersweet. And then we've got the 2 younger ones, almost 11 and 8. That
is almost 9.
Almost 9. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
That's crazy. Okay, that's fun. Why don't you guys share a little bit, kind of what was life like before you guys made the decision to go full time?
We were the typical house owners. We had the yard, the dogs, the mortgage and all that fun stuff, just like everybody else. And it was like Renee had mentioned, some situations came up with my side of the family, and we decided to sell our house and get a 5th wheel so we could also travel and be close to my side of the family to help take care of some things.
Were you guys originally close to your family, or was part of selling your sticks and bricks and moving into that 5th wheel to get closer to your family?
I would have to say my side of the family is a lot closer than Renee's side of the family. Her family's kind of
all over the country right now.
All over the country right now.
Fair, okay.
So my family is definitely a little more tight-knit, I guess you can say. But
okay.
Yeah, it was a decision that we made, and picked out the 5th wheel. We started with some travel, some bumper pulls and stuff like that. And, as the family got bigger and stuff, we, accumulated more things. So we had to definitely do an upgrade. So no more bumper pulls, and we went to a 5th wheel.
Nice. And just out of curiosity, was one of you more excited about going full-time than the other? And did you need to do a little more convincing? And if so, who was it, and how did that conversation go?
I think we were both excited, because we sold our house 3 years ago, and
it'll be 3 years in like 2 weeks, I think. We're coming up right on that 3-year anniversary.
And it was also a kind of get out of debt card, as well, because we're, a family of 5 with 1 income. So it was.
But there was not one reason why we sold our home and moved into an RV. I mean, part of it was we wanted to become more financially stable and get rid of all of our debt and be able to travel more and experience life more. I definitely felt that rut of dishes, laundry, feed my kids, over and over and
definitely
over again.
Cooped up and not traveling.
So that, and then our oldest, I think when we made the decision, he was like a sophomore in high school. So we really just wanted to cherish those last few years, do some traveling with him, and just kind of get to cherish those moments with him and help our family members. And there was just so many aspects of why we sold our home and moved into the RV. And it's been quite amazing to watch the transformation in our lives, because it started off with just a dream, and now here we are living it and traveling the Pacific Northwest as much as we can and kind of making a business out of it. It's just been amazing.
Did either of you happen to have any sort of previous RV experience before you kind of made this decision?
Yeah, we were definitely our summer weekenders, traveling a lot. Mostly in Washington State. We had a favorite spot that we went to outside of Granite Falls, up the
Mountain Loop Highway.
Mount Baker Snoqualmie Forest. We had our favorites. We went every single year. We knew a site we liked.
Are we talking Verlot? Are we talking
Turlow?
Just past?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Turlow and Redbridge, I think, were our two favorite ones. But now that we're in the fifth wheel, we realized, boondocking for one is not our favorite, and two, I don't know if our RV would really swing that loop at Turlow very well. So
no, we're way too big for that.
Yeah, kind of missed that.
I enjoy the campground out past there. I'm trying to blank. It's just past Verlot, and
Redbridge?
No, hold on. I'm gonna have to look it up. I want to say it's like Golden something or
Gold Basin.
I'm gonna look it.
Gold Basin.
Yeah. I love Gold Basin.
They closed that one for a long time. So sorry, they closed that one for a long time due to the mudslide, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, crazy! I was out there back when we had our pop-up, so I've never even taken our bumper pole out there at all. So yeah, crazy. Okay, how has living in your RV been different from what you expected it to be?
My expectations is it's tight. Mm-hmm. With now the family of 4.
We have 2 big dogs too,
and we had 2 big labs. So things are tight, and you accumulate a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. And my main concern is weight. The size of the trailer, the weight of the trailer compared to what we're pulling it with, and stuff like that. But you definitely figure out what you need and what you don't need
real quickly.
Real quick.
Would you say that's probably been your greatest challenge you guys have had to overcome since you've decided to live in an RV?
I would say, yeah. What we need and what we don't need, all the materialistic stuff and the wantsy stuff, and you got to get down to bare necessities, basically, but still enjoy life, have fun.
Exactly.
I think we realized very quickly that we can live with a lot less than we thought we could, and the transition from going into RV life from our house, we let go a ton of stuff, and then we kind of eased into, wow, we can get rid of more stuff. We haven't touched this in forever. And then it's like, we've been into it for a year or so. Well, wow, we really don't need this either. And so being able to let go of more and more stuff as we have gone has just been freeing. And I think my little minimalistic heart just loves it, because I was definitely feeling that overwhelmed of, the house and the stuff and the doing, and you need this and you need that. And it's like, no, we don't need all that.
We're an RV channel. You guys got an RV because you wanted to travel. So let's move into talking about some of your adventures. Where have been some of your favorite places that you guys have went RVing here in the Pacific Northwest?
Well, we've tried to kind of talk about that this morning. Like, what is our favorite? And, oh boy, that's really hard. That's a very hard question.
Okay. While you're thinking about it, why don't we bring the kids on the show and have them tell us their favorite places? All right. Hey, how you doing? Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us your name, and then why don't you tell me about some of the favorite places you've been RVing in the Pacific Northwest?
My name is Corbin, and I think my favorite spot is Ocean Shores.
Ooh, what do you like about Ocean Shores? That's a good call. That's a fun place to camp. What do you like about it?
It's right next to the beach, and you can see the sunset.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite campground you like over there in Ocean Shores?
Eagle Family.
No, it's Screaming Eagle.
Oh.
Screaming Eagle. Okay. What's your favorite time of the year to go out to Ocean Shores? Are you a summer only kind of guy, or do you like going in the winter?
Probably like a windy type of month.
Why?
Yeah, do you go clamming out there too then? Go dig for razor clams during clam
No,
season?
we like flying kites out there.
Oh yeah.
Do you tell them
Speaking of
about?
kite flying, have you ever been down to down to Long Beach for the kite flying festival in August?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we did go once. We did, yeah. The kites, there's so many cool kites.
Big.
Big, yeah.
There are so many cool kites down there. Yeah, Ocean Shores is great for flying kites.
They also have go-karts.
Yes. And mopeds on the beach when you get a little older.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
You want to go, Hunter? Nice and loud.
My name is Hunter. My favorite place is to go to Glacier.
Glacier was your favorite place
Ooh,
to travel to?
Glacier. Okay. You're dropping the national parks right there. Why don't you tell me, what do you like about Glacier so much? What is it for Glacier that resonates with you?
I like to sign up as a park ranger.
Okay, so you like doing the Junior Ranger program?
Yeah,
How
How
many
many-
patches do you have so far?
3 or 4.
3.
And where are they from? So you got Glacier. What other patches do you have for the Junior Ranger?
The Olympics.
Okay. And I'm
And
assuming probably Yellowstone, because you can't do Glacier without doing Yellowstone. Did you get Yellowstone?
Yeah,
Okay.
One,
And we got one more. What's your fourth one? Do you remember?
We don't have a 4th.
Well, we did it at North Cascades. They were just out of badges. So we didn't
Oh,
get
bummer.
I know.
Okay, well, North Cascades is cool.
And I think we did it at the Redwoods too. Again, just didn't get the badge for
No,
it.
we didn't complete the books.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Well, we got to
That
go
happens.
back and complete it.
You got to go back. Yeah, see? There you go. Okay, anything else about Glacier that you really enjoy? Did you see any of the bighorn sheep or the rams up there while you were out on going to the Sun Road?
yeah.
There was this one time bighorn sheep came up like probably 4 feet away from my window.
That is cool. What other wildlife did you happen to see there when you were there? Do you know? Do you
We
remember?
saw a bear.
Grizzly.
We did. Do you remember the time we sat and was looking at that waterfall? What came out from the side of the bush? It was a giant buck, right? With massive horns, and it just walked right up almost in front of us and then went just right on its way.
Yeah, it was probably 4 feet away from Mom.
That is wild. Do you have any other places that you boys like to camp in Washington State or Oregon or Idaho?
I like to camp in Oregon.
Let's see, when we were in Oregon, we went to we did oh man, I can't remember my words. What was the big thing? Trees of Mystery, where you got to see Paul Bunyan and his ox and the trees that you got to walk up in the tops. Those were really fun. And tide pools where we got to go and see all the starfish.
Ooh, I remember that.
Yeah.
See how that works? That's amazing.
I know.
I couldn't remember that far back.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on the show and telling us about your favorite places that you guys have done some camping. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Have a good rest of your day.
Well, they got shy real quick.
They did get really shy, didn't they? That's pretty funny.
They're
Huh.
just before all this, they sure wouldn't stop talking about their favorite places to go, and then it was just, oh man,
It happens. It happens.
Silent.
Well,
Yeah.
why don't you guys tell me about some of your favorite places that you guys have been camping here in the Pacific Northwest?
I think the Olympics might be one of my top favorites. There is so much to do and explore over there, and we were there for almost a week, and I still feel like I could go back and see a lot more.
What did you see and where did you guys stay? Tell me a little bit more about it. Do you remember?
We stayed in Forks. That was kind of like our central hub of where we had stayed. We actually had paired it up with a trip to Ocean Shores. So we went from Ocean Shores to Forks, which I highly suggest doing that drive because you can stop and see the Tree of Life right on your way. And they have lots of great parking on the side of the road where, we were able to stop with our big fifth wheel and pull off and go explore the beach and see the Tree of Life. highly suggest breaking up your road trips with little fun activities like that where you can get out. It really made the drive day a little less daunting.
What was the name of the furthest north?
Yeah, Cape
point?
Flattery.
Cape Flattery
So amazing.
was pretty amazing.
Oh, I've heard cool things about it. I've not made it up that far north.
Yeah, they
Up
got
there.
it's definitely a nice walking trail to get out to the point. So I mean, anybody of all ages, disability or not, can get pretty far on that trail.
That's really cool.
Have not a ton. They have few picnic benches and seating benches. So I always suggest pack some food and some water, go sit, because just the noise of the ocean and the views, like you just sit and take it in because it is worth it. And it's stunning. It's beautiful. That was probably a really big favorite of ours. But we also did Rialto Beach, where we got to explore the hole in the wall, which was really amazing. And all the tide pools that came with that. It's just, we love that. I think the ocean might be our favorite spot to go to.
Yeah.
But we paired it up with, Lake Crescent. We've never had experience or been or visited Lake Crescent, and the Soul Duck Waterfalls was just gorgeous. They were all perfect hikes, I guess you could say, for our family, especially with kids. They were able to easily manage them, and just breathtaking views.
Did you guys happen to make it to the Hall of Mosses?
Yes.
Yeah.
We did, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I also
Okay.
feel like that is a area that we could have explored more. We did that Hall of Mosses hike, which was, I don't remember, a mile or two. And
Yeah, it's a
there's
mile, and it's more of a walk, let's call it. It's pretty flat. It's
Yeah.
an easy walk.
Very easy and very gorgeous, and just pictures don't do it justice. You've got to go experience it.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed on your Instagram that you guys have done some RVing in Idaho.
We did.
Let's talk about your time in Idaho. Where did you go? What did you do? Kind of where did you stay? I ask because I haven't covered much of Idaho on the show before. And most of the time, I'm usually just passing through Idaho. I never think of Idaho as a destination for myself. So I'm just kind of curious. I'd like to hear more about your experiences in Idaho.
Yeah, we did a real big loop, I guess you could say, in the RV, where we left Washington. We went to Boise, and we stayed in Boise for a few days, and we really enjoyed it. I mean, I never would. Okay, so we went and did a tour of the, I can never say this correctly, Old State Penitentiary. Is that how you pronounce it? My vocabulary is horrible. And I just never would have imagined that being a fun experience, especially with my kids. But when we got there, they were just starting a walking tour, and I think it was only a couple dollars a person to do. So we're like, sure, we'll do this. Wow, we learned so much, and we were able to explore and experience all the different buildings of this old penitentiary and the stories that came from it. And there was one building that we visited, and I had to leave. I was like, I feel uneasy. I don't like this. Like, I need to get out of this building. So, I mean, just that experience, and they had the weapons museum there.
Yeah.
The kids were just in awe. So I was like, hey, here's our history lesson for our trip. Like, let's go.
And where did you guys stay when you were in Boise? Do you happen to remember the name of like the campground or wherever, the resort or wherever you guys stayed?
I think it was a KOA we stayed at.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was great because it was 100+ degrees when we were there. So they had a pool, an indoor pool that just felt amazing. So we were able to end our days with a nice swim and
going through that penitentiary, seeing so up close and personal the size of the cells and the way that the inmates there had to be incarcerated, it definitely makes me appreciate life more. Seeing
being a criminal.
Yeah, seeing that place so up and personal, and you can walk in the cell, and it's eerie at the same time, but so thankful for not being a criminal. It was cool though, the stories of the inmates, and they had a women's section there for the women that were incarcerated, and It showed that, the towers of where the guards would be at the four corners of the towers out in the yard, and it was a pretty cool place. But it was so hot when we were there. It was so uncomfortable.
If you're gonna be there in the summer, make sure you bring lots of water, because it was 100 plus, and it's open, it's dry, it's very warm, but gorgeous. They have an amazing landscape. It was just beautiful.
Let me ask you a bit more about Idaho. So besides the penitentiary and Boise, what other places did you guys go and other kind of experiences you had?
We did go and get Idaho Spud Original from the candy company. We went to their main shop factory. That was kind of a fun little experience. We were only there for a few days, so like our big thing was the penitentiary, and then we rented bikes. We actually rented e-bikes and rode along the Boise River. I can't remember the name of the specific trail, but the Boise River has a great trail that goes right along it, and restaurants and stuff right on the trail as well. So it was really cool to just go out for the day and stop at the river and kind of cool off because it was really hot, and ride bikes and stop for lunch and get to take in a little bit of the
scenic.
The Boise life. Yeah, it was really fun. This trip, I think, really helped us realize that we don't like fast travel. We want slow travel and time to explore and rest and take in different locations. So yeah, that was one of our first trips when we started RV life, was this one.
Well, and I feel like too, like if you try to cram, go, sure, you might see more, but you're going to remember way less.
Yeah.
And so I would rather go slow, see it deeply, and be like, okay, cool. Next time we come to Boise, right? I don't need to see the penitentiary. We've already done that. Yeah. But hey, I now have all these really cool memories about it or whatever it might be. So yeah, I totally agree. I was looking at your Instagram and I noticed that you, Renee, you kind of share a lot more tips and tricks. So can you share with us some of your favorite kind of RV tips?
Yeah. Like RV life specifically, or are we thinking kind of road trip tricks? I got them all. What do you want?
I'll take any and all, whatever you want to share. That can be, that's why I left it kind of general. So it can be whatever tips and tricks you might have and you want to share.
Yeah. I feel like one of my favorite,
the truck bucket,
exactly. I was thinking about
if you're traveling with kiddos, for sure.
So we really practice like limited screen time. So one of my favorite tricks, I think, is our car bucket. Like we practice a limited screen time. We're not by any means screen free, but I don't want our life to really be revolving around a screen and drive days being on a screen. I feel like you're missing out on conversations, you're missing out on quality time. I mean, the kids would miss out on just some of the process and the experience of traveling.
Sightseeing.
Yeah. So I also say, like, I really want my kids to be okay with their thoughts too. So it's okay to be, without your screen. So we make a car bucket and we travel with a car bucket. If it's going 20 minutes down the road, or our recent 10-hour road trip that we took to Oregon, it took us 10 hours to get back. We have a car bucket and we keep it full of things that kind of focus on something to read, something to do, something to create, and I think it was something to listen to. So we do podcasts or audiobooks, and we've got just different books, coloring books, creative books, dry erase books. I'm very thankful our kids don't get car sick. We actually have physical books that they can read. And something to play with, have a few toys. So they have a car bucket no matter where we're going, and it really eases that. Are we there yet?
Yeah, the long travel time.
I know what you need to add to your car bucket.
Yeah, hit me.
Auto bingo.
Auto bingo. I need to write that down. What is that? Tell me more.
Dude, so I'm a Gen Xer, kid of the like 70s and 80s, and these were really popular when I was a kid in the car. We used to drive up and down I-5 in the summer all the time because my grandparents lived down in like Southern California, so we go down to visit my grandparents. And auto bingo, man, just go on Amazon. There are these chintzy little cards with the little slide over cellophane, and you got to find like a speed limit sign. You got to find a police car. You need to find a sports car. You need to find a train bridge sign. And they have different boards. And so you can be looking out the window and play bingo. And It's called Auto Bingo.
Auto bingo. Okay. We'll add that to the next
It'll
trip.
be perfect for your car buckets.
Yeah.
It's a great family game. I have some competitive children. So first we were all into it and it was competitive. And then arguments started happening. We're like, you know what? One board, we're going to play as a family and we're going to figure it all out.
Yeah. There
And
you
that
go.
has
That's the way to do it.
satiated some of the backseat fights, but Auto Bingo, fun game.
Love it. We'll add that to the bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Okay.
For necessities and.
I mean, I'm with you. We listen to a lot of Audible podcasts in the car. My kids are totally down with true crime podcasts. It's really funny.
I love that.
So we listen to a lot of podcasts, a lot of Audible books. I mean, I have a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old. So they're at that point now where like, I can't just throw them a Hot Wheels car and they can keep entertained for an hour with a Hot Wheels car. So it's getting a little bit more tricky. Do you guys the car bucket's a great tip. I've never heard of that, and that's a great tip. Do you have any other tips?
Yeah. I think that has
Food,
to be my favorite.
snack bags.
Always have the food. Yeah. Always snacks. We have one kiddo that's just driven by food. So if we call it the Hunter bug out bag, if we do not have food for Hunter, oh boy, watch out. So yeah, we've always food and snacks. I try to be mindful of what we're packing. So we're always looking for higher protein, lower sugar, a little extra fiber, kind of balance it out. So we definitely try really hard to make sure that the RV lifestyle is not becoming this like vacation mentality. It's so easy to just be like, oh, we're on a trip, let's go get dinner, let's go get food. Oh, we're on a road trip, let's just stop for lunch. Like, it's very easy to fall into this like vacation mindset when you live full time in the RV and travel quite often. So just trying to make sure that we're scaling it back and realizing like this is our lifestyle. We still have to take care of our buddies and eat well. And yeah, so snacks and car bucket, those are our two biggest travel tips anyways.
Do you have any like storage tips for kind of living in a small space and whatever tips and tricks you might have for storage or those kind of things to help space saving?
I highly suggest utilizing every space that you can. When we bought our RV, we had a standing table with 4 chairs. We realized quickly that we could utilize that space a little bit more by taking out the chairs and putting in benches with storage space and kind of shifting that to fit our family. So utilizing whatever space that you can and making that work, whether it's a pillowcase and you stuff extra blankets in it and there's your pillow and your extra blanket or extra sheets holder, also going vertical. For whatever reason, our RV has very tall cabinets. So being able to add like shelves and different baskets to be able to utilize vertically. And yeah, we just try to utilize any space that we can, but we also are always trying to purge and let go. If we haven't touched it, we haven't used it, it's time to let it go. And we definitely follow the thank you for serving us, it's time to leave.
Do you have any winterizing tips? I saw you have a whole thing about what you've been doing for winterizing, and especially now that we're dipping out into freezing.
Oh boy, yeah, it's chilly in this area for sure. Yeah, winterizing tips. We did a whole series. You can see it on Instagram and even on our blog where we really break down the different things that we've done to winterize our RV. This is our 3rd year wintering in our RV full time. And we've definitely learned a few things through the years. The first year we did no skirting and we learned quickly that was not an option for us. And we were flying through propane. So, just adding different type of insulation, whether it's to the windows, but we use the clear insulation on our windows because I need that natural light here in the Pacific Northwest. That was important to me.
We also got the heated line, electric heated line for the water hose. And we use pool noodles and we wrap our water hose up in pool noodles with the heated line so our water doesn't freeze.
Oh, that's smart.
We did add insulation as well to the slide outs. We've got 4 different slide outs and 2 of them have our beds. So we were, wrapped the slide outs in skirting as well. And that kind of helped eliminate the draft that you would get through your slide out areas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask the two of you this, kind of what is next on the horizon for the McCartys on the Move?
Yeah, we actually have a Florida trip coming up, so we're super excited to be able to run away from the cold Pacific Northwest. Although Florida's been getting some chilly weather, so hopefully by the time we get there, it'll be nice and warm again. But yeah, we are just
Wait, no, hold on. You don't just get to drop Florida and then move on. So like, how long are you going? Where in Florida? Are we talking Disney World in Fort Wilderness, or are we talking Key West? Are we talking where are you guys kind of going? Orlando to do the big, kind of what's your Florida plan? And
so
how long are you taking?
Yeah, my dad recently, he moved about a year ago. So we are going to take a trip down to Sarasota and visit my family. I think really what we're looking forward to is warmer weather and being able to have beach time. I do really want to go and see manatees. That is probably one of the top things I would like to do. We also know that there's called Shark Tooth Beach where you can go and explore the beach and find shark teeth. So my kids are really
super cool.
Yeah. We talked about one of the big parks. We're just not sure which one we want to do or if we're going to make that happen. But yeah, I feel like we're that close. We should take.
But our next RV trip is going to be in July, end of June, beginning of July. We're going to travel down to Oregon. What's the town that she lives in?
Oh boy, let's see if I can pronounce it. Coquille?
Okay, I'm not familiar.
It's kind of near the Coos Bay area. My sister's getting married, so we're going to go down and stay with them.
So I wanted to ask, where can listeners follow along on your RVing adventures? Where can they learn more about you?
You could probably find us on just about any social media platform at McCartys on the Move. And we also have a website. I'm currently revamping it and giving it a makeover. So hopefully that'll be live here soon. But we share a lot of our winter RV tips and travel itineraries. We just did a big blog post about the Olympics. So you can see all the different stops and places to go and especially kid-friendly.
And what's your URL, your web address for that?
McCartysonthemove.com.
Perfect. Okay. Well, Renee and Jason, thank you guys so much for coming on the show. I really, really appreciate it. And happy travels.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you again for listening to RV Out West. I sincerely appreciate it. If you like this episode, please share it with your family and friends. I'd also like to invite you to follow RV Out West on Instagram and Facebook, where you can join in on the conversation. Next Monday, we chat with Camping with Kayla and hear their story about their RV travels in and around the greater Pacific Northwest. As we are all looking to figure out where we want to go and what we're going to do this upcoming camping season, this is going to be a great episode for you to want to hear. Thanks so much for listening to RV Out West. Join us again next week. Please like and subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you choose to get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. I sure would appreciate it if you left a rating or a review of the show. Special thanks to Scott Holmes Music for providing us the intro song, We Are One. RV Out West can be found on Instagram and Facebook, where you can interact with us and follow along on our RV adventures around the Pacific Northwest. So get out there, explore, and go see what's beyond the horizon.